Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome to today's episode of Simplify Healthy Habits. I'm your host, Antoinette Ferreira, and today's topic is how to make healthy decisions. I have gotten so many questions about healthy decisions, more specifically, how to make healthy decisions and why people still make unhealthy decisions even if they want to become healthier. That means today we are going to jump into the psychology of decision making. This can be a highly complex topic, but as always, I'm here to simplify it for you. I want to start with a case study of someone who specifically asked the following question. The individual is used to eating unhealthy meals and relying on takeout meals. She decided to start eating healthier food and even went so far as to buy healthy food she could make throughout the week. However, she still ordered unhealthy takeout meals every evening instead of making the healthy food she bought. She wanted to know how she can make better decisions. How can she get herself to make the choice of cooking healthy food rather than opting for takeout? You may be in the same position. Maybe you enjoy watching TV rather than going to do a training session. It doesn't matter. We want to understand how to make healthy decisions. So let us start with the basics of decision making. Even though we might not be aware of the process, this happens in our minds when we need to make a decision. First, we use the knowledge available to us to create a pros and a cons list. Let's look at the example of cooking healthy food versus getting takeout. Option one of cooking healthy meals. The pros list might look as follow. You will get healthy nutrients, you already have the ingredients at home, and you can make enough food for lunch tomorrow. On the con side, it takes time to cook. Might not be as nice because you're still learning to cook healthy meals, and you have to clean the kitchen. Option two is getting takeouts. And the pros can be that it's super delicious and you feel good afterwards because of the release of endorphins. You know you like it because it's predictable and you'll be satisfied afterwards. It won't be that bad if you eat a healthy meal because you can cook healthy tomorrow night. You've been craving this food all day. You don't have to clean the kitchen. It's been a long day and you might not be in the mood for cooking. On the con side, it costs additional money and the food in the fridge might go to waste. After completing the pros and cons list, the second step of decision making is to select the potential outcome that suits us best. As human beings, our goal is to seek satisfaction and avoid pain. Based on this list, we might choose option two, which is takeout, because it looks much more satisfying and beneficial than cooking healthy food. But what if the knowledge we use to make the pros and cons list is incorrect or incomplete? What if the information in the pros and cons list does not help us make a decision that is really beneficial to us? That means we will make the decision based on incorrect information. So, how do we change the information we put in the pros and cons list to accurately represent the option that is truly beneficial for us? Let us take a step back and ask the following question. Where do we get our knowledge to complete the pros and cons list in the first place? Our experiences are a form of knowledge we use to make a decision. Our experiences, good and bad, influence our choices. Think about it this way. When we experience a reward after a decision, we are more likely to repeat that decision. If you go to a coffee shop, get a nice cup of coffee, and get quick service, you will likely decide to go there again. On the other hand, if you experience a punishment, you are less likely to repeat that same decision. If you go to a coffee shop and get bad service and bad coffee, you are less likely to go there again. You will actually put your past experience in your pros and cons list. When you decide where to buy your coffee next time, you will think, coffee shop A is further away, but it offers excellent coffee and good service. Coffee shop B is closer, but the coffee is not that good and the service is horrible. Without being aware, you draw from your experience to create your pros and cons list. You can even draw from other people's experiences. You know, when someone else recommends a coffee shop or a restaurant based on how they experienced it. It is amazing how our brains work. But here is where you need to pay attention. The problem with decisions relating to pleasure is that the reward system is backward. Let us take food as an example. Imagine you gained 5 kilograms and got severe stomach pains a few minutes after eating an unhealthy meal. No one would ever touch an unhealthy meal if that were the case, because the immediate consequences were an experience of punishment. The thing is, when you eat processed and unhealthy sugary foods, your brain releases endorphins. You experience a sense of pleasure or satisfaction when eating foods like pizza, hamburgers, chips, chocolate, and ice cream, and deep fried foods. But when you eat unhealthy food, you experience a reward directly afterward. And this is where the problem lies. Eating mostly unhealthy foods over time will slowly but surely result in negative consequences like gaining weight or having gut problems. But because we don't immediately experience these consequences, we associate unhealthy food with pleasure. The same goes for watching TV or spending money on unnecessary shopping. You experience an endorphin release directly after the action or pleasure, but only experience the long term consequences later. The negative impact of your date, if you're buying random stuff, only occur later. When you decide to make healthy food or get takeaway, you put the good feeling after eating unhealthy food in the pros list and neglect to put the long term consequences in the cons list. The final decision might be takeaways because your brain immediately thinks of the good feeling after eating that meal. So, how do you update the pros and cons list to help you make a better, healthier decision? The answer is actually quite simple. You must remember why you want to make the change. Your perspective changes when you remember why you want to change, and for this instance, it can be becoming healthier. Why do you want to make a different decision? Is it because you want different outcomes like losing weight, increasing your quality of life, or maybe boosting your immune system? Instead of completing the pros and cons list for the here and now, complete the same list but take a longer term view and focus on why you want to become healthier. I am positive that your list will look completely different. Let us look again at cooking healthy meals, but take into perspective that you want to lose weight and have more energy. On the pro side, you might think you will get healthy nutrients that will build your body. You will feel fuller for longer. Healthy and balanced meals will help you lose unnecessary weight. It will also help with your digestive system. You'll have more energy. The good nutrients will help reduce stress. The healthy meal is one step closer to your goal. Each healthy meal will help you build and cement better habits. You already have the ingredients at home and you can make enough food for lunch tomorrow. On the con side, it still takes time to cook. It might still not be as nice as takeout meals because you're still figuring it out and how to make it, and you still have to clean the kitchen. If we look at the pros of getting takeaways, it's still super delicious. You know you're going to like it and it's predictable. You don't have to clean the kitchen. It's been a long day and you might not be in the mood for cooking. On the cons list, you have to now think this is what is going against your why. First of all, it's empty calories with minimal nutrients. The type of food will not build your body but break it down. Deep fried foods can cause inflammation in your body. The endorphin release is just temporary, and the real consequences are long term. It will not help you achieve your goals. Might probably cause you to pick up weight. Additionally, it costs money, additional money, and the food in the fridge might go to waste. The pros of healthy eating and the cons of takeaway already swayed the decision in another direction, all because your perspective changed. It is essential to remember why you want to change and keep it front of mind when making decisions. Always ask yourself, how will this decision impact the goals I want to achieve? You are more likely to make a healthier decision if you know what you're working towards and acknowledge how the unhealthy decisions will affect you. Before I close, I want to summarize. When we make a decision, we use our knowledge to form pros and cons list, and it will help us identify the option that will benefit us or bring us the most pleasure. We derive the knowledge to create the pros and cons list from our good and bad experiences or our rewards and punishments. In order to make sure your pros and cons list is accurate, you need to remember what you want to achieve and why. How will the different decisions you are considering affect your desired outcomes? P.S. This is why it is essential to have goals. I want to also add a few additional tips to help you make better decisions. Number one is that you need to make the right or healthy choice easier. The easier the action, the more likely you will put it in the pros list. In other words, your experience is positive if the action is easy. For example, if you meal prep your healthy food in advance, you don't have to struggle to clean the kitchen throughout the week. Cleaning the kitchen can then be removed from the cons list. Number two is to have a plan. If you know exactly what to do, you take the additional guesswork out of the equation. Instead of being tempted by getting takeout, you just follow the meal plan. And number three, make it fun. Whether it is training, cooking healthy meals, or cleaning the house, try to make the action fun, like listening to music or a podcast while you're completing the action. Making healthy decisions is not always easy, especially when you're new to the journey and you have yet to experience the beneficial outcomes of a healthy lifestyle. But I promise you, it gets better. Now that you know how to make a decision, you will be more consciously aware of the process. Remember to hit the subscribe button and follow for more. Until next time.